Unfortunately, the year is coming to an end, boys and girls, but one might wonder, what kind of a gaming PC can you still build in 2025? We're gonna go inside, shop for PC parts, and see what kind of a banger PC we can build with less than $600. Let's go. Freaking Arya, late as usual. I'm gonna have to call one of his clones again. Yeah! Oh my God, hold on. I'm sorry, hold on.
We talked about this. How do you expect me to hold a camera without a torso?
I'm sorry, okay? I'm still fine-tuning it, okay? But the main Arya is late again, so I have no choice, okay? Let's go. It's not often to come across a gaming laptop that looks as good as it performs. Until now. Well, you can have it all with the Lenovo Legion 7i16 gaming laptop. This baby sports an Intel Core Ultra 9 processor paired with an NVIDIA RTX 5070 packed with a stunning 2.5K resolution OLED monitor, a 240Hz refresh rate, and less than 1 millisecond response time. As a content creator, I can't tell you how important it is to have a thin and powerful laptop that I can take with me while I travel. A 2560 by 1600 resolution display means I can fit a lot of content on here for multitasking, and I can enjoy watching movies with vibrant colors and deep blacks thanks to the beautiful OLED panel, which also protects my eyes from straining. And when I feel like switching from work to play, I can load up my favorite titles and boost the frames with NVIDIA DLSS 4, allowing me to easily play in 1440p resolution with high FPS. I also noticed how snappy the laptop is. I didn't experience any lag or stuttering when stacking programs or even multitasking. That is the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. If you're looking for a portable powerhouse that can provide both work and play, then the Lenovo Legion 7i is the answer to your prayers. Check it out by clicking my link down below. So we have a $600 budget, you guys. We cannot pass that today. And normally when we come to microcenter, we start with the bundles and then we make our way down. But unfortunately, we can't do that because we only have 6 Benjamins to work with. So we're gonna pick out each individual component, starting with the CPU. So for this price point, we have only 3 options. We got the Ryzen 5 4500, Ryzen 5 5500, and Intel, we have the i3 14100F, right?
Right, but there's one downside with the Intel ones.
Well, first of all, it's more expensive than the other two, but also
Motherboard prices are through the roof.
the motherboard prices for the 13th gen are a lot higher. So that's gonna already put us above our budget. So we're gonna stick to Ryzen 5 DDR4. So that narrows it down to the Ryzen 5 4500 or the 5500. And I think there's only like a $10 difference between the two. However, the 4500 is on an older architecture, whereas the 5500 is on the latest one, and it performs more faster than the 4500.
I think it's around 10 to 20 FPS on average.
Yeah, so obviously it makes sense to go with the 5500. Unfortunately, it is DDR4, but again, with a $600 budget, we cannot afford AM5 right now. But the upside is it comes with
a cooler.
So we can save money on the cooler. Let's go. Awesome, nice meeting you. Take care. Okay, I definitely want to pick out the graphics card next because that is going to be majority of our budget. We have $600 to work with, so I want to spend a little under half of that on the GPU because that's where most of the gaming performance comes with. So with that said, we have only 3 options for this budget and they're all priced the same. We have the RX 7600 from AMD, NVIDIA RTX 5050, or here's the wild card, the Intel Arc B580. First time I've actually even considered putting an Intel card.
I don't think you've ever put an Intel card.
I don't think I've ever put an Intel card in any of my videos in the past like 12 years. So it's the start of the channel essentially, but these are different times, Arya. These are different times. Now when it comes to performance, the 7600 and the 5050 are similar. The only downside is they have only 8 gigs of VRAM, whereas the Intel Arc B580 has 12 gigs of VRAM. So it's somewhat future-proof. Although I hate saying future-proof on such a budgety card because you're gonna most likely upgrade the card anyways within the next few years. but it's nice that it has 12
It'll hold
gigs
up
of
a bit
RAM.
longer than compared to the other
Exactly,
ones.
it'll hold up in titles much longer.
Especially with
than
old titles using lots of VRAM nowadays.
Precisely. And the thing is, it's the same exact price as the other cards. But when you look at rasterization performance, when you look at raw performance, the Intel RX B580 actually does noticeably better in 1440p resolution. So it can hold on its own without any upscaling technology. Now, if you value upscaling, I feel like the RTX 5050 is the better choice because you get access to DLSS 4 with frame gen ×4, so you can boost the crap out of your frame rates. But again, I think for this specific build, I feel like we should avoid the upscaling stuff, go with pure performance, and somewhat future-proof it, and go with the Intel RX B580. What do you think?
I like that idea.
Let's show some love to Intel, okay? I feel like they've been getting neglected in the market lately. So let's go see what they got. This is definitely an aisle I'm not familiar with. First time putting an Intel GPU on the channel ever, I feel like. We've never done an Intel GPU ever. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking for one. I am now delivering. Well, okay. All right, motherboard is next. I feel like this one's gonna be an easy one as well because we just have to pick like the cheapest one we can fit in the build that actually powers on or works with the system. So I'm pretty confident we can't fit a B550 in there. This one's $120.
And it's ITX, which
and it's ITX.
is already gonna put us over the budget.
Yeah, ITX boards are more expensive for some reason. So we might have to go with either a B550M, which I highly doubt, or one step under that, which is a 520.
A520, I believe.
A520M. And by the looks of it, we don't have that many options.
What is
Oh,
this?
here we go, we have an MSI one. $86. This will be a good contender.
The lovely hazard warnings back.
Ah, yes. Taking up 1/3 of the box. Does this have Wi-Fi? Negative. It does not. Okay, so that's a good contender. What else do we have here? We have, the ASRock A520M. This one's going for $58. Dude, this motherboard is so cheap that they can't even afford the color on the box.
The designers were low budget. What
Seriously,
can I say?
that's how you know we're getting a good deal. There's no image on the actual box. Wait, this is not even the right motherboard. Why is this on here?
Is there anything behind it?
Oh, you know what? Oh my God, dude. Somebody must have put it, there it is. That makes more sense. You know, I think this is an open box. That's
That would
probably
make
why.
sense.
Yeah, that's probably why. Okay, so here we go. So we got the A520M HD TV micro ATX motherboard. Does it come with Wi-Fi actually?
HD TV?
HD.
It's HDV. Sorry guys, TV's not included.
TV's not included. Okay, now when it comes to storage, normally we put in a terabytes
At least.
minimum, but, and this is a big but.
Desperate times.
Where am I going with this?
I don't know where you're going with.
Let's start with 512 gigs, just so we scratch the bare minimum, because we can always upgrade storage, and use that extra money towards either a better case, better power supply, better GPU. We have to make sure we have enough money left in the budget. If we do, we'll come back and we'll do a 1 terabyte. So let's see what microcenter has available.
We have so many options.
Not really. For this budget, not really. I think this is our first 512 gigabyte kit as well, right? We never put a
I don't think
before.
we always went 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte minimum.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. So we're going with the TN320, 512 gigabyte storage. Okay, now here is where it's gonna hit us really hard in the wallet. Memory, specifically DDR4 memory. I don't know what is going on, but the prices for DDR4 have skyrocketed. Before, we used to get a 32 gigabyte kit for around like $30, $40. Now it's like double. A 32 gigabyte kit goes for $80 minimum, which is insane. But that's supply and demand for you, I suppose.
Just like the toilet paper shortage.
Just like
back in 2020.
Just like the toilet paper shortage, exactly. So we're seeing the same thing happen with DDR4. Production has slowed down, which means supply is low, but the demand is still high. People are still building DDR4 systems. Who's still building DDR4 systems in 2025?
We are.
Get out. You're done. This is also one of the reasons why we had to go with a 500 gigabyte M.2 SSD so that we can use that remainder pool for memory, unfortunately.
Technically, we still could have put in memory, but we could have only put in 16 gigs if we went
No,
1
we
terabyte.
can't. I'd much rather have a 512 gigabyte storage with 32 gigs of memory as opposed to 1 terabyte with 16 gigs, if that makes sense. That's going to affect our gaming performance.
You can always add storage later on.
We can always add storage later on, yeah. So it looks like the cheapest 32 gigabyte DDR4 kit here at Micro Center is going to be the Vulcan Z from T-Force. 3200 megahertz with CL16, by the way. Never knew I'd live the day to see DDR4 sticks going for $80, ladies and gents. Power supply time, Aria. This is where I am dreading it the most because I feel like we're gonna get a lot of heat for what I'm about to say. We have very few options here because of our budget. It's gonna ultimately come down to two choices, which are the two cheapest power supplies here at the Micro Center. We've got the Thermaltake 600, white label, non-modular, it's 80 plus certified, and I believe it's an F tier on the SPL power supply tier list. Or we can go one rank higher, so E tier.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Exactly, not much better, but we can go with a better quality power supply, but we have to downgrade the wattage. So we're going with a 500 watt E tier or a 600 watt F tier.
If I were me, I'd pick the one that's a bit more reliable, at least.
Okay, so
which I'm assuming is gonna be the. What are you doing? Get that out.
Okay, well now I think this is an F tier after that drop. So, but yeah, I mean we have to choose between these two, Aria, and I think you make a lot of sense going with the E tier. But our options are limited. Again,
I mean, granted, we're losing 100 watts, but I think overall, I don't think we're going to be using all 500 watts
We're not going to even be
way.
hitting 300 watts with this system, so we have plenty of headroom for even like a small upgrade in the near future. So I feel like we should go with the power spec.
Right. You have your own tier. It's called the S tier. Or no, the T tier. The TS tier. There we go.
Let's get out of here.
Beth, are you okay?
How many times I have to tell you, do not interrupt my private time?
With an NZXT box?
Yes. Okay, Araya, we are finally at the case selection. And we have quite a few options this time around. We got our lovely Cooler Master box, $40, which is the cheapest option we have here. Next one up, Inland Next One for $50. But the only issue with that is it's a mid-tower and we're gonna have the motherboard floating. I don't like the floating look. So ideally, we would wanna go with a micro ATX case. We got the Gambia's GC1 next, same price also, but no power supply shroud. It looks naked. Where are the micro ATX cases? I feel like the micro ATX cases should have been more cheaper. So the first micro ATX case, we have the Montec X5M, $60 for 4 pre-installed RGB fans and a covered power supply shroud. Is this a new case? Because I've never heard of this
Actually,
before.
wait a minute. I think I saw that case here somewhere. Oh, it's right there, actually.
Have you heard of this case before?
I think it's right there.
Is this one?
I think it's one right next to it. Or
Oh, this is the
one?
white one though. No, this is the ATX version. This is the micro ATX, but this is in white. This cannot do. Do they have one in black? Because as much as I like the white color, as you guys know, we're going with an all black.
Fit our theme.
Yeah, we're
all.
building an all black build, so we got to stick with the black components. But this is such a nice case. Oh wow, we've got mesh panel in the front, 3 intake 120mm fans. Oh, is this carbon fiber? Yo, check this out.
Montec's getting fancy.
Yeah, look at this. I think it's fake carbon fiber, but still,
Probably.
it's got a carbon fiber look to it. And we've got a 120mm fan in the back. Okay, so one of the reps did tell me there is one black one in stock, so we are actually in luck. Otherwise, we would have gone with the white one. I think this one's it actually. X5M.
I think that would be it.
That's interesting how the box is the same size, even though this is a full ATX, right? Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I got it. Don't
Great
worry
job,
about
Ed. Great job.
Hey,
You're doing great.
I'm buying this. I'm buying it. Micro Center's really testing me. All right, we got it.
You're on a streak today.
A few casualties, but we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, our very first contestant for our super quiz, Mr. Clown.
Hello.
Okay, so for $1,000, spell Arya's name.
R-E
Correct.
What?
Okay guys, so we got the shopping done. Now we gotta go check out and see how much all of this is gonna cost. This is the first time in a while where I'm just a little uneasy because every time we do a super small budget, it's very easy to go over. Because by the time we get here, maybe the prices change. Like it happens a lot at microcenter, and we don't
Especially
even know.
in this current market.
Especially in this market, prices fluctuate very rapidly. So for example, when we walk in here, this processor could be $80, but by the time we check out, it could be 100. Who knows? But let's put our bets in.
I'll let you go first.
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
No, I'll go first. I'm gonna say $5.98 and 50 cents.
You know what? I'm gonna say 59. Actually, no. $5.96. That's my final guess.
Let's go find out.
So, Ed, I've noticed you're really close to 4 million subs. How does it feel?
I honestly haven't been paying attention, to be honest. I stopped caring after I hit 1 million subscribers, so that number to me is just a number. Like, I don't have anything planned, if that's what you're asking. Like, I don't have any like 4 million subscriber special, but I guess it's cool.
There's your guys' answer for those of you that always keep commenting. You're close to 4 million.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys' support, by the way. Thank you. I know it's awesome. But to me, honestly, what matters the most is you guys tuning in and watching my videos. Like, I don't care if I have 10 million subscribers or 1,000. Like, to me, the viewership is what matters the most. I think subscriber count has no merit, especially now in 2025. With the short form content that's in play now, anybody can grow to 4 million, 5 million subscribers. But the fact that you can maintain an audience and stay relevant and put out quality content, that's what matters to me the most. So, and for that, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching the microcenter videos. I truly, truly appreciate it. We're over budget by $3, $2.93.
Well, you know what that means.
We gotta downgrade something.
It's either case or storage. Take your pick.
I want the case. We can't go with a crappier case.
Well, looks like it's storage.
Let's do storage. All right. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to do it. We're downgrading from 512 to 256.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, man.
Well, I mean, the beauty about storage is we can always add more, but you know, we're
true.
after that performance, and the PC has to look good too. So this case is really nice, and I'd rather stick with it. That's enough for like one game in 2025.
Install COD. It's done.
Yeah, one COD, and we're good. $5.91 and 93 cents. We're under about like $8 and some change, so that's much better. I'm more comfortable with this. All right.
Looks like it's 2-2.
Oh crap, you're right, damn you, we're even, okay. Did I show you the fire hydrant that I hit? Out of the entire area for the front bumper, I had to hit it right where the freaking front camera was. And I've just been too lazy to take it to the body shop to fix it. All right, let's go and build this thing and see what it's able to do.
All right, let's go.
Okay, ladies and gents, PC is complete. I'll be honest, it's not much of a looker, but then again, we only had $600 to work with, so I prioritized performance over aesthetics. And besides, it's not about what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside that matters the most. And if you ask me, I think we got a pretty cool system for $600. And Hughesies, before jumping into the gaming benchmarks, let's go ahead and tweak some settings into the BIOS so that we can milk every ounce of performance that we can. Now, the first thing we have to do is obviously enable XMP so we can take advantage of the max frequency of our memory. As you guys can see, both our memory sticks are running at its default speed, 2400 megatransfers, and that is absolute doo-doo water. So we're gonna go into the OC Tweaker tab, scroll down until we find something that says XMP. So here we go, load XMP setting, and this is set to auto. You wanna make sure that this is set to its first profile, or in this case, XMP 2.0 profile. Then I'm gonna hit enter. As you can see now, this is the target speed, 3200 megatransfers, which is the maximum speed for these memory sticks. But that's not all. Because we're using an Intel Arc B580 graphics card, we gotta make sure to enable resize bar just to make sure we're not losing any performance on the table. And at the time of making this video, actually Intel released updated drivers that fixed the overhead issues that the Arc series was having. So the timing is actually perfect. Resize bar basically allows a CPU to access the entire VRAM at once, rather than in smaller, limited chunks. And in most cases, you get up to 5% more performance. The worst case scenario, you get 0 performance, but it's always recommended to enable resize bar. And most modern systems, like high-end systems, this setting is already enabled by default. But in some of the lower end systems, like this one, obviously, we're gonna have to enable it ourselves. But anyways, we're gonna go to the advanced section, and I believe this one is in the PCI configuration. Okay, so resize bar is currently disabled and it's grayed out. If this is the case, we have to go back into the boot page to disable CSM. Then we can come back and enable both of these settings. So let's go to boot. CSM should be down here. Let's go ahead and disable it, restart, and go back into the BIOS. Anyways, we're back into the BIOS. Let's navigate back to advanced PCI configuration, and now we can enable above 4G decoding. We have to enable this option first before we can enable resize bar. So let's enable this, go down, enable this as well, and then we can finally hit F10 to save the changes and go back to desktop. Okay, we're back in the desktop. Let's do a quick check to make sure that our memory is running at its highest frequency. So we're gonna right click on the taskbar, go into Task Manager, then go into Performance tab over here and make sure memory is selected. And there you have it, 3200 megatransfers per second. That is what we like to see. Now that both of the settings are enabled, let's check out the gaming performance, starting with good old GTA 5. Okay, so settings were obviously 1080p, and everything else is set to either very high or high. You guys can pause the screen and check out the settings if you like. And everything else in advanced graphics is set to default. And we're actually not doing too bad. I'm actually a little surprised. We're pushing over 120 FPS in high settings. Yeah, the textures aren't fully loaded, but I mean, the gameplay is very, very smooth. No stutter, no lag. This game is notorious when it comes to stuttering too. So I mean, the fact that it's playing this smooth right out of the box, that's not bad. Yeah, when I'm not driving, it actually jumps up to 150 frames. Wow. This is on a $600 PC, you guys. That's impressive. Temps are actually looking good too. 66 degrees Celsius on the CPU with 55C on the GPU. No additional fans. This is all stock fans from the case. The only thing I don't like about the case is the massive empty space on the right side. And I'm guessing they did that so you can fit a 360mm radiator on the top. But I mean, it's a micro ATX case. Do you really need a 360mm AO? I mean, yeah, we're consistently pushing over 100 FPS, even during fights. Obviously, if you guys want to get more FPS, just go into the settings and either lower the resolution or lower the rest of the settings. But GTA 5 is certainly playable on this PC. Let's move on to our next title. Dare we even try Borderlands 4, which is horribly optimized, but why not, I say. Why not give it a shot? Let's see what we can do in the settings real quick. Probably shouldn't do high settings, but we'll start out with high, and then we'll see what kind of frames we're getting. Here's the rest of the settings on here. Everything is pretty much set to high. And we do have upscaling set to off, so no FSR 3. Here we go. Oh, Jesus. 30 frames. Oh my God, it's so sluggish. Let's get out of here. Okay, out here is actually a little worse. We're getting 28 to 29 frames. Wow. Honestly, I am not surprised. The fact that it's even running Borderlands 4 is impressive. 30 FPS, I mean, a lot of people play games in 30 FPS, so let me be clear. This is playable depending on who you ask. But for me personally, I don't consider anything under 60 FPS playable. Man, this game is taxing the hell out of the CPU. 86% usage on the CPU, on the poor CPU. Oh yeah, my aim is so trash. With 30 FPS, I can't, this is not doable. Oh no! Whew, I almost died there. Okay, let's see if we can go to medium settings. What do we got for medium? Oh, okay, about 10 FPS more. Still not great, but at least it's slightly more playable. Okay, I've seen enough. Let's bring in our reinforcements. FSR3. Let's see what we can get in FSR3, and then we'll try Intel's XS. I'm just gonna call it XS. Okay, here we go. We finally hit the minimum 60 FPS threshold, ladies and gents, with FSR3 in medium settings. Okay, it's dipping a little bit, but for the most part, we are above 60 FPS, folks. Okay, 60 FPS. Will Intel's very own upscaling give us more? Let's try it out. Yeah, we're actually dipping, oh whoa, we're actually dipping way more. It seems like the 1% lows are much lower on Intel XS compared to FSR3. Like, look, we're dipping to like 54, 55 FPS. Whereas before, we weren't dipping as much actually. Let's go back to FSR. Yeah, see, we're getting a steady minimum 60 FPS. It doesn't drop anywhere under that. So if you're playing Borderlands 4 on a low-end GPU, no matter if you have Intel or AMD, make sure you enable FSR3. You'll get way more frames. One final test. Let's bring this down to performance. Okay, that gave us another, I'm gonna say 5 to 10 FPS. Not as much as I was expecting, but I mean, it's still something. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it didn't do much. I mean, in gunfights, we are dipping under 60 FPS, but I'm just impressed that it's able to run Borderlands 4 nonetheless. Okay, next game. Okay, settings, we have everything set to high, and we do have AI upscaling and frame gen currently disabled. Whoa, I did not expect this. We are pushing, oh, there's a lot of fluctuation. Anywhere between 60 and 90 FPS, that's actually not bad. I was expecting like under 60 FPS in Cyberpunk high settings without any upscaling. This is impressive. I think I definitely underestimated the B580 on Cyberpunk. This is definitely playable. Even stock settings without any upscaling, this is more than playable. Sorry, Susie. I need your car. Yeah, even just driving around. We're getting 90 frames. That's crazy. Did they optimize this game and I'm not aware of it? That's impressive, yeah. I mean, we're getting some nice frames. Let's go ahead and switch to Intel XS, and then we'll put the resolution to quality and enable frame gen. Let's see what we got here. 170? No. I mean, we're just using Intel XS, not even FSR3 or DLSS. That's impressive. Who needs a $2,000 PC when you can game Cyberpunk over 100 FPS with a $600 PC? Looking pretty good for temps as well. 73C on the CPU and about 57 on the GPU. So yeah, I mean, anywhere between 120 and 140, I want to say, FPS. Let's see what FSR does for us. Okay, it's, I want to say about the same. We're getting anywhere between 120 to 170. So I don't really see much of a difference between FSR and Intel XS, which is a good thing. Driving around the city, it looks like the lowest we've dipped is in the low 120s. Not bad. Apparently $600 still gets you a lot in 2025. Okay, last but not least, let's go ahead and check out a competitive title. Okay, last but not least, we're gonna check out CS2 in maxed out settings without any FSR. So as you can see, FSR is disabled. Let's see what we got here. not terrible. I mean, CS2 can run on a toaster. I was expecting, you know, somewhere in the 200s, but I'll take it. Anything over 100 on competitive titles, I will take it. Nice. Oh, we're actually dipping under 100. That is not acceptable in CS2. Come on, we should be able to at least hit 100. I mean, look, over here we're getting close to 150. 166 is the max FPS, and we're getting as low as 90. So anywhere between 90 and 160. That is a huge range. Okay, let's enable FSR. Performance. That did absolutely nothing. Bruh. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that did anything. Enabling FSR did absolutely nothing to our frames. We're getting the same. Maybe our 1% lows increased, but we're still dipping like close to 100. Yeah, see, 98. It does dip quite a bit. Yeah, it just depends on what part of the map you are. You can either get as low as 98 FPS or 160. But for the most part, you know, no stutter, no lag, very smooth gameplay. With just very terrible aim. Okay, yeah, I mean, $600 definitely still gets you a lot in 2025. If you guys want to check out any of these parts I used, I'll post it down below in the description section. But let me know in the comments what budget I should do next for the next microcenter video. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more microcenter videos and PC builds coming your way very, very soon. Thanks for watching again. I'll see you in the next one.